So who am I? My name is Syed Fahmy, Syed for short in this retreat. 33 and I'm a consulting engineer. So what initially drew me to Men Without Mask is kind of a tough one because I was introduced by my colleague and now friend. We had friction initially at work, and eventually I had an episode, as it were, where I was struggling a little bit with the amount of work I had to complete and the amount of people that needed my attention and my support. And I think there was a bit of space where I really struggled. And somehow or other, we connected and kind of like apologized for the friction that we had. And that's where that initial bond formed with him, where I apologized for some long email I must have written. And he expressed himself very beautifully. And he told me about this retreat. He said, I think this may help you. And he didn't give away too much, as you'll find. It's very mystical. And he said, well, I think you should try. And I just trusted him because of the kind of man he is, and the way he delivered it with passion and truth. I just knew in his voice I should try. So the biggest moment for me in this retreat, it's very hard to find one specific moment. There were several catalysts of experience. And I think a lot of it is trying to not get into your head so much and sort of internalize all those thoughts in your mind. And the meditative experience, the education they give you is really empowering, because they not one just teach you how to be healthier and be one with nature, but they also teach you to reconnect with your internal elements. And I think we did this thing, I don't know if it's possible to say, but it's called the Sweat Lodge. And it was a bunch of group of men stuck in a tent with heated rocks, and it was 4 phases. Each phase was going to get hotter and hotter. And your mind naturally binds to the limits. You get to stage 1 or 2 and you're like, oh, I'm done. That's enough of me. But something about the brotherhood of the experience, and something about the preparation that they give you with the meditative tools, that one, you allow yourself to be present and feel the bodies of your brothers in the lodge. But at the same time, you're using these tools to get out of your head and just experience it from like an external outer body experience. So it was getting hotter and hotter, and believe me, in steam rooms and saunas that I've been to, I don't normally last very long there, but I made it to the fourth phase, and I could have kept going. And that's when I realized I embodied that spirituality that I feel that I've lost in my childhood. So what I would say to the man who is considering this retreat is, especially if you're considering it and you've seen it through ads or someone's recommended it to you and you're just a bit unsure, if you're that kind of guy, then you're very much like me. Part of this retreat is that it's hard to say this because I'm a man of science, I'm an engineer, but it truly is magical. And the other tool that it gives you is that it provides you the ability to be completely present. And as much as your problems still exist, you just become a man that is complete. They call it the embodied king. And I've got work to do to get there, but certainly you feel a sense of empowerment. And the other thing I would suggest, if you're feeling unsure, is to take in that feeling that you're unsure. Really, really absorb it. Don't just feel it and sort of have it in your subconscious, but really think about the things that make you feel vulnerable and unsafe or unsure. And once you've gotten in tune with that, I think you'll you realize that a deep part of you will mobilize you towards the direction you need it to be. And for me, as confused as I was, I thought to myself, I've got to do this. And I did, and I'm really glad that I did.